Well, welcome back to the greenhouse. It's been way too long since our last visit. I've got to figure out how to show some content during the winter months. I'd like to show what I'm doing down in the basement in the grow room. I do have lots of stuff going on down there, but it looks like a dungeon. So we'll figure something out. But we're in the greenhouse today, and we're going to take a look at the seedlings that I have out here. Right now it's just strawberries, and it's the ones that we started this summer from the strawberry tops. So let's take a look and see how they are coming along. All right, these are the strawberries that we were growing this summer from the strawberry tops that I had cut off. Most of them were or are just the store-bought strawberries. Some are from some local U-picks, but they're looking really good. I have this cover that I put over them like this. Sorry, it's really tight in here. It's barely enough room for me. I've got all kinds of pots. These haven't been outside in this greenhouse all winter. They were too small, or I feared that they were probably too small. So they were in my grow room in the basement until about 2 weeks ago. I think these guys have been out here for about 2 weeks now. And then we had just a really couple cold nights that I was a little concerned, and I did move them into the garage and then move them back out here in the greenhouse for the warmer days. All right, the strawberries are looking really good, huh? So I don't know what we're gonna do today. You can see it's pretty messy out here, and I don't have a ton of space, but I have had a couple of friends and family ask about winter sowing. I don't typically do that. It's an easy enough process. So I have a couple of milk jugs here. I thought that maybe we could plant up a few things and yeah, see how that works. Technically this greenhouse is a big milk jug, so I can treat my greenhouse as the milk jug. But for those of you that don't have a space like I do, you can certainly use milk cartons, milk jugs, or any container, really. Some people use clear propagation devices like this, or totes, or salad, those salad containers that your salad greens come in. It's whatever you got. Recycle, reuse. I'm all for that. So let's see. First off, we don't need these. Throw those away. This is where the rain and the snow and all of that's going to come in. And plus, when this heats up like a greenhouse, some of the moisture has to evaporate, because you don't want it too wet in there like this. I'm probably going to have to vent this today. I haven't been because it's been cold, but we're gonna be almost 50 today, so I'm gonna have to vent this. And this just has like a little thing, a turn thing. I don't know what you would call that. A vent that you just turn open. All right, so let's get to this. A pair of scissors, and we're going to cut around the milk jug, but we're going to leave this portion still intact to the jug so that we can open that up. Use it as a hinge. Doesn't have to be neat, doesn't have to be exact. The plants don't care. Oh, I didn't rinse this one out. Oh well. There, like that. Oh, I should have created holes at the bottom. All right, so let's do that. Do that first. I mean, you can do it now. It's not gonna hurt anything, but it will be easier to do that. Just poking my scissors. I'm hitting the coffee cup. Can you see it? Just like that. I have to find something to wipe the mess up. Hold on. All right, we're back. I got the mess cleaned up, and I also I had a whole bunch of stuff just sitting in that bucket with that compost. I made sure that I had some compost in the greenhouse so that this spring I could start. Some of it's frozen, but there's probably enough here that we can fill a couple of milk jugs. All right, so I've filled the containers, and this is like super dry. So I went inside and got a container of warm water out of the tap and just wet it, and I'm just kind of waiting for it all to absorb because this soil is pretty hydrophobic. So let's give it a few minutes and we'll come back. And while we're waiting for the soil to absorb all that water, I just wanted to show you a project that I'm working on, and it's been fun so far. I had researched ground cover, and I was really this is what started all of this, and interested in trying to get something to grow during the winter months, in maybe something that I could harvest in the spring, but that wasn't necessarily the goal. I wanted to just do a ground cover that I could just till into the top layers of the soil, and it would be more of a fertilizer in the spring. And then it led me to, oh, I'm sorry. You're sitting on some pots. Peanuts. And I was looking at sites like Johnny's and Southern Exposure Seed Exchange. There was a couple of others. Southern Exposure had more variety, but they're all sold out. So I then started doing some research to see if we could grow peanuts from store-bought peanuts, and we can. The germination rate may be low because they're obviously not tested. They're for human consumption, not growing. But we need to make sure that they're raw and not roasted. So I do have some that I've started about 3 days ago, and I'll show you the process. I think I might make a separate video, because if this works, then I'm gonna do a whole bunch of them, but I just did a few in a bag. I soaked them for about 10 minutes, and I did that because in water, I should say. I soaked them in water for 10 minutes, and I did that because I was thinking that a lot of times when you're checking to see seed viability, when you're seed saving, that the ones that float are probably not going to be viable, and the ones that sink would probably be the ones that are going to germinate for you. So that's why I did a soak for 10 minutes, and then I just did a wet paper towel in a baggie, and I don't have any sprouts coming yet, but you can see that they're definitely swollen now, and looks like I might be onto something. So I don't know, that's just a test, and then if that works, I'll do, you know, some video and actually talking about the process. If you guys are interested, I think this is gonna be fun. And the goal of this isn't to grow peanuts and eat them and make all my peanut butter. This is another cover crop, and it's going to be a warm weather cover crop when I don't have, or in around plants, you know, to suppress weeds. That's really what I'm going for, but I thought peanuts are fun, and if we get some peanuts out of the whole thing, that's a bonus. All right, let's talk about the seeds that we're going to plant in the greenhouses. I'm going to start with seeds that don't mind overwintering outside, or that are plants that are cold hardy that you would see growing in a garden in the first weeks of spring. So I'm going to do some spinach. I'm going to hold off on the carrots, I think. I think I'm going to divide these jugs into 4 sections, because I don't need a whole packet of seed sown in these, and plus I don't need all those seeds, all those plants. So I'm gonna hold off on the carrots though, and I was thinking I'm gonna do these a little bit differently than sow them in a jug. And lots of people tell me that you can't grow carrots in containers, or you can't transplant them, and I have had success doing both of those things. So I'll show you what I do. Some echinacea, and this is another fun project. I have 2 of these packets of red Fife wheat. I bought them from Baker Creek, and again, this was when I was doing my research for ground cover. I'm going to use these, I think, as my winter ground cover, and then harvest if there's anything to harvest in the spring or early summer. But they say that you can sow this. This is a wheat that you can spring sow or fall sow. So and I'm gonna rotate my wheat and my peanuts as my cover crops. So that's what I was thinking. So we're gonna plant some wheat today, some dill, some hollyhocks. And this is going to be fun too. I want to increase our grain production. Not that I've done any. I have a whole bunch of fun things like this quinoa coming. I don't have them all yet, but this is a cold season quinoa. I think you can get some quinoas that prefer warmer temperatures too, but this one says a cold season. It's a long growing season, 120 days, so we got to get that going. And some purple peas. I tried these this fall and planting these in the fall. I didn't get any pods, but those vines held on well past December. Granted, we did have a bit of a mild beginning to our winter, but I think these this variety, that King Tut Purple, is pretty hardy. And peas are hardy anyway, but I think that they're exceptionally hardy. It says that they are on the package, so I think they're right. So let's I'm gonna get the camera so that you guys can see how I'm gonna sow these, and let's get to it. All right, hopefully you can see that. So let's start with our peas. I'm gonna divide the container, you know, into 4 sections. You don't have to do this. You can do each container with one variety if you like. It's your garden. Do whatever you want. All right, so I mean, these are even pretty seeds. I'm not spacing these exactly what they need right now, because I'm gonna be moving these out of this at some point and putting them in the ground anyway, so let's create a label so I don't forget. I think I have a marker here. I do. Not really sure why I put purple pea, because they're the only peas that I grow. Oh, that might cause a problem. No, I think that'll be fine. All right, cool. Let's do the quinoa. I will come over with some soil after. This is a fairly old packet of quinoa. Oh, they are tiny. All right, let's see how we can do this. Wow. These guys are tiny. I may, in fact, just plant all of these here because this packet is so old. I'm not sure what's going to germinate. This was 2014. Yeah, the neighbor's dog's even mad about that. These were given to me, so I have had them a couple of years, but all right, hopefully something germinates. I'm not sure how the germination rate goes on those. Do the wheat. I'm excited about these. These are gonna be fun. Looks just like wheat. I'm trying to think. I did read when to plant these out in our area. Again, I'm not really worried about spacing so much right now. Just worried about giving them, you know, a bit of room so that they can germinate and grow a little bit in here, but they're not going to do a lot of growing in here. They're basically germinating. Let's these are also old and an open package. So I'm going to sow everything I got on this echinacea. Okay. Oh, I gotta label my wheat and my... Maybe I should do the date. What is today? 3/1. Happy unofficial first day of spring. All right, now I'm gonna get some compost and sprinkle over that. I'm not gonna bury these too deep. I mean, you can bury the peas deeper, but I don't typically. I'm just gonna make sure everything's just covered. That quinoa is pretty tiny, so I do have some bird seed that's in here, I guess, from a bag that I didn't realize had a hole, and that was one thing that was sitting in this bucket on top of the compost. So we'll have some bird seeds popping up too, probably. That's okay. And then you could put water on it again, but I'm gonna be watering this. All right, let's tape it up. I'm not one of those that can actually rip it. Maybe I'm gonna have to be one of those that rips it. My husband's gonna be mad that I got his tape dirty. Everything in the greenhouse gets dirty. Me, the dog. He's inside because it's too cold for him. He's a 20-pound border terrier, so I think those things would be tough, but he's pretty spoiled. All right, so let's do the other one. All right, let's see. I gotta move a bunch of stuff. I am very cramped. Okay, I think we'll do the hollyhocks. I am going to plant these because it's an old package, and I think I tried these last year and I didn't get any to germinate, so I'm just using up a lot of seed this year that I currently have on hand because I have a ton. All right, hollyhocks. And I love to save seed too. I did put these outside on top of a pot. I have a few huge pots that I cannot move, and the snow's melted off of the top of those pots pretty decent, so I did set it out there. I would have shown you, but trying to get out there in the ice and the snow, I think holding the camera and I think we would have ended up on our heads. I'll show you though. I'll show you what I did. All right, this is dill. And I really want to have successful dill plants because I have also tried growing this. These are just packages you can get from the dollar store. I don't think that it's the seed. I think that they're old and it's I think the seed is probably fine. If I went and got some fresh seed, it would be fine. But our monarch, nope, not monarch, swallowtail butterflies, the yellow ones, the yellow and black that look like tigers, they love these. So that's a good host plant. You want butterflies in your garden? And I'm gonna do spinach in these two. I never have a successful spinach growing season. I have tons of open, because I try different varieties. But a lot of people say they just bolt. They grow, they germinate and grow, and then they just bolt. It's like, so what I think is happening, a lot of people say that when the temperatures get too high, they bolt, but I think that it's the day length. When the day length starts getting above 14 hours, I think that's it. I mean, I know that they don't like hot weather, but I think that it's the day length when they start having the longer days, and 14 hours plus. So we're gonna try it now and see if that's the issue. Spinach. Oh yeah, I know how to spell spinach. I really do. Sometimes I have dyslexic moments. I think we all do. Okay. Just cover them lightly. Growing this way is pretty sweet in that you don't have to harden stuff off. They're already acclimated to growing outdoor. So, I hope I have success with this. I did do a bunch of herbs last year and pansies, and I germinated them out here in the greenhouse March 1st, and they were sweet. All right, so let's go I'll show you where I put the containers in the yard. All right, that's where I put the containers. There, that in that huge pot. You can see we still have quite a bit of snow. So hopefully it's raining now, so good thing I didn't water that. Those again, they'll get plenty of water. Oh, it's raining really hard now. We made it back into the greenhouse. All right, so I also want to start my potatoes. I always start my potatoes in the greenhouse March 1st. So I don't know, sorry, it's really cold. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to film, I had the buckets, I'm not sure if you can see them, outside. There they are. Because it's tight in the greenhouse, but it's pouring rain. So what I do is, these are store-bought potatoes, and by the time March comes around, I look in the bowl that we have in the kitchen, and whatever has sprouted goes into a pot in the greenhouse, and I get quite a few potatoes that way. And it's fun. So these are already what they call chitted. They have pretty good eyes on them already. So when I put them in the pot, I'm going to put it this way because I can tell that this potato wants to grow up that way. And there is a top and a bottom to a potato typically. And the end that has more of the chits, I mean, they'll come on the side too. I mean, you can see some, but there is an end that has more chits, and that's called the rose end, I believe. Don't quote me, I've been wrong one time before. See, you can see this one has more on that end. So I just put a little bit of soil in a pot. I don't fill the pot with soil. I just do 2 inches on the bottom of a pot. I like to do at least a 5-gallon bucket. Those obviously aren't buckets, but they're probably pretty close. They may be 4. That's what I had in the greenhouse. I mean, I can do a smaller pot, but you would only put 1 in it, but I'm gonna put 2 in those containers. So this one's really, and you can see that more of the chits are on one end. This one's really soft. This one too. These are Maine white potatoes, my favorite. All right, I'm gonna go get the pots and I'll fill it with some compost and I'll show you how much I put in. So just bear with me. You're on top of a pile of pots, so I don't have much room in here. Sorry, I keep saying that. All right, I'm gonna shut you off because I need a pot to scoop out the dirt. Okay, I think it's done raining. The dog and I had to take a break. And I was thinking that soil is pretty dry. So the soil is just gonna come out these holes. So I've been in the garden and I found some material and I'm gonna put that over the bottom hole. This smells really good. This is, I think it's mint. So just plug up the holes here. And then I'll go get the dirt. And like I said, we're only going to put a couple inches, not much. And then we'll put the potatoes in and cover them by 1 inch or 2. And that will keep them from freezing. I forgot the potatoes inside. All right, so remember, we're going to plant them up this way. Oh, I don't know if you can tell. You see, just a little bit of soil. Plant them like this. I'm gonna put 2 The garden dog is helping. Which one are we gonna choose, Basil? This one? Okay. Basil has approved that that's the one we're gonna use. And then we're just gonna cover them up. I don't know if you can come in a little bit. Let's see. I think if I move this, you might be able to. Can you see that better? I mean, careful not to knock off those sprouts, but it's not the end of the world if you knock one off. Okay, they're covered by about 1 inch of soil. So that's what we did. That's how you do it. And when you start to see some growth coming through the soil, then you put another layer of compost over and keep covering it until you reach the top of your pot, and then they're hilled. So we'll keep checking on these and the dogs securing the perimeter, and I'll see you